Practice makes perfect. I've been taught that that phrase is inherently wrong, and I feel it's because, well, we're human, right? We're never going to get too perfect. But what do we do instead, right? We obviously should self-improve, so what do? Well, I've got a story for y'all. I was in a show where a bunch of stuff had gone wrong on each night. It was a show in, we were a bunch of artists and there were paintings everywhere and stuff that would happen, you know. At one point, someone was supposed to give a speech with some boxes. They fell off the boxes one night. Another night, I was supposed to unveil a painting, so I went voila, and then the painting flew off stage, almost hit the director. I think another night, what was it? My jacket had gotten caught on someone's wig on stage. It was a whole thing, right? But, you know, they were mistakes that could have happened to anyone, right? Obviously, you know, we had our lines prepared and everything else, but even though those mistakes happened, the audience still forgave us. We got standing ovations on scenes and everything else too. We still did good because they could see that we were pouring our hearts and souls into it, right? And they were more forgiving, right? That's, you know, in a sort of way, it made the show a bit better because it was more authentic. They could see that it was humans up there, you know, kind of made it a bit more relatable that we weren't perfect up there. That's why AI stuff is so uncanny because, you know, AI is meant to be all perfect and meticulous, and that's just not human, right? So we can apply it to real life. We are never going to become perfect because that's not what human is. And if we're always chasing some magical, perfect version of ourselves that we're never going to get, well, we're just going to put pressure on ourselves and be stressing out for the rest of our lives, right? So what do we do instead? We get better each day. I've been taught this for so long that we should outperform yesterday. That should be the goal for every day, right? And if we can outperform yesterday and we can confidently wake up the next day and say, okay, we're going to rule the day, we've got our goals, and we can progress slowly, that is how we can know that we are self-improving, right? If we run from our issues, well, we're going to run into this magical perfection version of ourselves. That doesn't exist. We're always going to have flaws, which is why we have to acknowledge those flaws. And once we acknowledge them, we give ourselves the power to combat them. So yeah, once we start combating them, we can come up with strategies and everything else. Like we've all got our things, right? But the first step to solving that problem is by acknowledging it and saying that we are flawed. I am flawed. But if we try and be so perfect, well, we're not. We're going to be living a lie. We're going to be putting more stress. It's just not good. So for today's Motivation on Monday, acknowledge that we are flawed, and of course, stay motivated in self-improvement. Know that is a lifelong process, but make progress each day. And well, that's all we can do, right? Thank you all so much for watching. As always, you know, tune in next time for more stories and lessons. I'm learning these just as well as you guys are. And yeah, I appreciate sharing them. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and have a great rest of your day.